Well, Happy New Year, yes, eh? How feels each and every one of you this wonderful, lovely new day? How feels wonderful, beautiful, handsome, enlightened, and fantastically prosperous and healthy you this wonderful, lovely new day? Well, namaste, and I welcome all of you to today's program. We were expecting our Reverend John to share today's lesson sermon with us, but he has traveled and so he's not in town. And the mantle just fell on me to stand in to give a short lesson sermon with you. You know, sometimes we look at our world and it looks as if our entire world is falling apart. Things that were going well yesterday suddenly stops going well. Our finances are in the doldrums. Our health, we don't know what to say about it. Our love life crumbled. Everything seemed to be going bad around us. And we ask ourselves, well, I say I'm on the spiritual path. Why should this happen to me? You know, I had a call from a friend. Now I call him my son. And he told me he needed an urgent, fix. His whole life seemed to be crumbling, and even, he did not remember the last time he had a real good meal. And I smiled. I said to him, you know something? Whenever you buy land or you are given land to farm, you have an idea of the produce you like to plant and to harvest, don't you? And when you see that only grass and weeds are on that land, what do? You clear it. And anytime you clear it and you plant the seeds that you like to harvest, that's exactly what happens. And I said, sometimes God wants to do a new thing in our lives. And so God brings the circumstances and the people to get it done. But before he does it, he has to clear what you know as your life now, to clear it in order to plant a new season for you. In the yoga tradition in the East, they have the concept of God as the creator Brahma, God as the preserver Vishnu, and God as the destroyer Shiva. Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva. And whenever God wants to create, Shiva must clear the field. So I said, you are experiencing the Shiva effect now. All of the things that you held as dear are being cleared from your life so that a new beginning is giving you a new life. And so be ready to embrace that new life. There was a gospel song, yesterday is gone, another day has come, do something new. in my life. Another day has gone. Yesterday is gone. Do something new in my life. You see, in the Yoga Sutras, we have the yamas and the niyamas. And the last yama talks about non-attachment. We get attached to our past because that is what we know. And when we are attached to our past, it doesn't give us, you see, if your hands are not flexible, if you hold your hands like this, whatever falls on it stays and is the same. You cannot hold it. And if you have your hand like this, clenched, your fist clenched, you cannot receive anything. And so your hand must be flexible so that you can give, you can take and also give. Now, when it looks like your life is falling apart, that is the time that you must strengthen your faith in God. I've seen a lot of people lose faith in God when a slight change occurs in their life. Oh, I'm disappointed in God. I'm mad at God. I'm not going to follow God again. I've seen people come to CSA. They are doing well, and then a little mishap, and you don't see them again. Their life takes a downturn. And when you meet them and you ask them, what's going on? Oh, the principles are not working anymore, so I don't feel like coming. I say, a principle is eternal. Love is eternal. Peace is eternal. So when it looks as if you have lost the peace you were in, don't worry, God will arrange to bring you, to restore you to that peace. Look, Roy Eugene Davis, my mentor, my guru, wrote a piece which I pasted on the board at our old headquarters. He says that when you have been able to practice the principles for a while, and you attain a sense of peace, whenever that peace is disturbed, God will move the universe to restore you to that peace. And so when the Shiva effect, the destroyer effect, begins to occur in your life, don't think that, everything is spoiled. I've seen people, my dad, his business, he called it Kosunye. Keep on doing it. And I've seen my dad bounce back from seeming defeat so many times. He never ever lost that faith in God. And that has been a certain guiding principle that I've adopted. That no matter what, my faith will be in God. When we finished meditation, the first song which was played was, I release, and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life. And my heart is open wide. I'm only here for God. You see, when you live for God, when your entire faith is built on that unshaken, that foundation which can never be shaken. Like Paramahansa Yoganandaji said, a yogi sits unshaken amidst the crash of bursting worlds. And like Jesus shared with his disciples. He said, the kingdom is like someone who built his house on sand. When you build your house on sand, any shakable thing, any storm that comes your way throws you out of kilter. But when you have built your house on a rock, no storm can shake that rock. You know, when I was building my house at Peduasi, we found out that the land was very rocky. And when we were building the place, we had to get bulldozers to move the rocks. But there was a particular rock where the main building was. It could not be moved. They tried several times, they could not move it. I said, look, let us build this house on this rock. And anytime I enter my kitchen, I see that the kitchen was built on that rock. That is where I cook my food. And faith is GD. Yeah? If you don't cook, you cannot eat. And so, whenever I enter my kitchen, you know, the sense of me building on the rock of truth. Huh? When you are firmly established in truth, it says that whatever us. And so let us do our best to be established in the truth, the principle of truth. The people say, oh, I'm a Christian, and Jesus said, I am the way, the truth. What do you say? What do you say about your life? Are you also the way, the truth, and the life? No one cometh to the Father but by me. Yeah? You cannot go through anyone to God. You can go, you can only, no one can know God for you. You have to know God for yourself. Tell me. Of all the people who have known God, whether anyone knew God for them. So we must know, they say, blessed are the pure, they shall do what? So let your heart be pure and build your faith on the rock, which is the truth of life. And you will find out that always, when the wind of change blows, you will be able to accept it and flow with it. Look, change is built into the fabric of nature. And when we attach ourselves to anything which is subject to change, we set ourselves up for some future pain. Therefore, learn to be detached. Like Jesus said, wear the world as a loose garment. Don't be attached to anything. You have seen a man, and the man is very wealthy, and therefore you say, oh, let me attach myself to this man. I have seen a lot of wealthy people. I had my mom's brother, my uncle. He was very, very rich. In fact, in my life, I've never related with anyone who was richer than him. He has so much money. But you know, getting to the end of his life here on planet Earth, I saw everything crumbling. And when he passed, my auntie, his wife, I was sending her money. When my cousin, his son, passed, I was the one who literally buried him. You know, the money was not there anymore. I saw these things and I said to myself, is that how life is? This man, didn't need money from anyone anywhere. And towards the end of his life, I saw that he was penniless. And so don't be attached to anything. But when you see that wind of change blowing, know that this change, a change is going to come. This change is not permanent. God is the only thing which is permanent. And let go of the past and grab hold at the hem of the garment of God. Grab hold of God's feet. Surrender to God's feet and let God carry you through life. See, when we say these things, you say, oh, look, Nelson Mandela was the one who said that. Someone said to him, you are brave. He said, you don't know. I see the thing. But I act in spite of my fear. It's not that I do not fear. Fear comes. Fear takes hold of me. But I act. And so when bad things start happening to you, act in spite of your fear. In 1975, 76, I went through this Shiva effect. It happened in my life. But like Phoenix, my rise from ashes is what you are seeing today. My life, I said to myself, I'm going to know God and to establish my own business. I got a piece of paper, drew a line across. On the right hand side, I wrote all the things that I know. I knew then that will help me know God. On the left side, all the things which will take me away from knowing God. And I tore the paper in two, and took the one on the end. I'll look at it like, one, know God; two, have my business. And I started. But immediately I started my business. I decided to sell. At that time, Stevie Wonder was using beads to adorn his hair. And it became a fashion in America. I had beads sent to me from Ghana. Nice beads from Ada and Krobo area. Started selling the beads. Then my friend Robert Fox was with me. He was my partner. This university in Washington. Um, it's a black university. And I went there, I saw them, and they told me of a place I should go to, a subsidiary of the World Bank. And when we got there, they told us that they would give us $20,000. I mean, $20,000 was a lot of money. Immediately, $20,000 entered into our, hey, wanted to share it. You get $10,000, I'll get $10,000. But the catch was we must have 10% of that money in our account. So I told him, I didn't have that. He should bring the 2,000. Also, I knew he didn't have it. And I said, they will have more than me. So I have to find a way to get the entire money. Now, he took my car to go chase women in downtown. And when he got there, the young man in the area, the petrol tank, he started the car and the engine ceased. And he left the car there and ran to Northeast Washington. He didn't tell me that the engine has ceased. He borrowed the car. Now, where is the car? I couldn't find the car. Then he arranged, that weekend, because my girlfriend had told me, like that was what registered in my mind. She showed me a picture of her and an elderly man on a yacht. But there would be plenty of money. And so I stopped working. I stopped doing my 9 to 5 job, and I was. I will wait when there is a concert. I'll go to the concert and sell my beats. Now, she told me she was going to see old man at my side. I said, whoever has entered today, we shall see who is who. Then eventually I saw that it was her. She came, she sat down by the side of the bed and called me. And then when I woke up, she asked me, do you listen Arab? He is into oil, but then he has clothing shop and other things here. And I told him that I was in love with you, and he has asked me to bring you to him. I woke up in the morning. I saw that she was lying in front of the and I just walked out. Now, of East Washington D.C. to come to the house and look for the papers. But by then I sent the papers to a safe deposit box at the bank. I sent the safe deposit, the bank papers and everything there, and so he couldn't get it. So I lost that. I lost my girlfriend. I lost my car. And I said, God, now that I say I want to know you, you have destroyed my life. You see, that you have destroyed my life. The life that I used to. He had to let go of Ghana in America. And now, when he had Ghana in America, his blood pressure was shooting to various heights, But since he settled on Costa Rica, the woman, my clothing and everything, and I allowed God to, I attached myself to God. That was when I came to Ghana, went back to the US, anything, take them, take it from me, your brother, to you. And that has let me. You see, if I was still with that girl, if I still had that car and I was still doing, maybe I would have not been sitting here today. Maybe I would have been dead already. Because that a police engine, a police car engine. But now, it's just a thought. Some people, when they lose, they are the one. One time, my brother disciple, David Sunday, who was then the associate minister, he was always picking on my brother Ron Linden. And one day he came to me and he said, why? Like the corporate ladder. I came here to know God. And that is my thing. I am here. To know God. Whether I am president or the messenger, I'm here to know God. You are is the truth about you. What you are is that you are a life-giving spirit made in the image. In likeness of God. I want you to say after me, I am a life-giving spirit. I am what happens in my life. I accept it. But I will never forget what I am. It's land, the good seeds that God is breathing into your mind, and you have a wonderful harvest.